Hello my people and welcome to another day of stories. First off, just let me say thank you so much for telling your friends and your families and your family's friends and their enemies of their friends to subscribe and join. We have begun our ascent up the mountain and I very much appreciate it. If you have not subscribed though, please click that subscribe button and then Quasimodo that bell. With a flick of the wrist, you can click that like button because thumbs up is thumbs up. With a raising of the hands, how many of you have played paintball? If you actually raise your hands, I just want you to know you're my favorite. Thank you so much. If you've never played paintball, it is a more extreme version of Nerf because when you're struck, you think you might die. My first time I ever went, I positioned myself in a sniper's nest, or so I thought. That was perfect, and I saw a man of the enemy running around on the other side of the battlefield. But as I took aim, a shot rung out from whence I know not. Is that the right? I don't even know. It hit me right there. I thought my jawbone was shattered. I didn't even think it would work anymore, but I loved the adrenaline that was coursing through my veins, and so I continued playing. All that to say, one time, we played paintball. Like many of my stories, my friends are a major part of this one. Josh, Ryan, Ben, Brian, and my brother Nathan, all of us went together to play this epic adventure of paintball. As I've said before, Josh and Ryan's mom was a pastor, and someone had written the radio station KTSY in Boise, Idaho, and they chose that essay or musing as the winner. So she won a weekend up at the Living Waters Ranch in Challis, Idaho. But because it was just her and Josh and Ryan, she asked the owners if she could bring the rest of us. They said totally cool. The cabin they let us stay in had 47 beds. It was amazing. As we're sitting around talking about this adventure we're gonna have, the idea of paintball up in the mountains with the woods and the snow and just, oh man, oh yes, we have to do that. We didn't own any paintball gear, so we found a place that rented paintball gear. I don't even know if those places still exist, but we went and we rented paintball guns. Now, one thing that my brother and Ryan still lament to this day, if you ask them about this entire experience, why didn't I get a semi-automatic paintball gun? The price was $25 for a pump, $33 for a semi-auto, and they both said, no, I'm good, I'll just take the pump gun. We drove up to Challis, we got checked in, and immediately we want to go play paintball. So we drive way up the mountain to where there is a ton of snow. There was a little bit of snow down on the ground, but it was nice, it was pleasant. Up and away though we went, and then after we got up as far as the road would take us, we got out and we trudged. We trudged through the snow, and it was really deep. It was probably 3.5 or 4 feet deep. As you can already tell, that builds in a different element of playing paintball that doesn't make it so much fun. You can't run in 4 feet of snow. While our idea was really great in theory, the practice of it was a terrible decision. We decided to just go for it. Kind of started in some woods, but then it quickly devolved into awfulness because the cold temperature was beginning to solidify the paint pellets, and as they would strike, it felt like a real bullet destroying your body, and you couldn't run. You couldn't run away. You couldn't hide, so you just basically buried yourself in the snow. But we didn't bring any snow gear, so we're sopping wet, and after 15 minutes up in the mountain, we don't want to be there anymore. We decide to dig trenches. I am in no way comparing what we did to the awfulness that was World War I, except to say that they had trenches and so did we, and there was no crossing that trench land. There was no man's land is real life, and because no man goes there. Not a land for man. If you stuck your head up even a little bit, one time I popped up and the side of my head was exposed and I wasn't low enough in my crawl. Right there, it hurt so, I thought my face was shot off. Needless to say, after 2 hours and 47 minutes, we were battling hypothermia and what's the other one? Frostbite, Yetis, all of them. We were battling them all. We trudged back down the mountain, miserable with our decisions in life and all of the choices therein. Get back to the lodge, we take showers, we get warmed up, we go in to have dinner, and we are just irritated, expressing our irritation to the owner, who starts laughing at us because obviously you don't go up to the top of the mountain playing 4 feet of snow with paintball guns. He said it like we were supposed to know that already. But then he told us that just up the road and to the right, there's an abandoned mining site that he actually owned the land to. And we were welcome to go play on all of that area, just don't go in the mine. Which we didn't. Next day we wake up not really sure what to expect, but what we found Nirvana. And imagine this, a huge clearing, woods all around, piles of lumber in different areas, as though it was set up for paintball. A mine right here with a big hill over the top, and in the middle, a shack. A shack that if you went into it, you had maybe 8 by 8 in this first little area, and maybe 4 by 8 in the second little area. There was a little half wall in there. There was 3 windows in it. It was amazing because we posted up and we played cops and robbers. And let me just tell you, when you are inside a wooden shack, the paintballs strike the side of the building. It sounds as though an air raid has come through and the bombs are hitting the ground. It's terrifying. We played about 9 rounds of that, all of us cycling through, being the different people, trying to run up and assault the shack, and then if you came too close, then we'd pop out the window and shoot you down. It was amazing. I volunteered to go 1-on-5. Not a good idea. You probably don't want to do that. If you're a robber and the cops are coming and it's 1 against 5, you should just surrender. That's bad. You are set up to fail. That's not gonna work out good. 3-on-3, it was about 50-50. Also, don't be a robber. We were having the most epic time and we were quickly shooting through all of our paintballs, except for Nate and Ryan, because they could only fire them so fast. You know, they brought muskets to a semi-automatic carbine fight. We decided to have a battle across the entire site, and the only rule was dead men tell no tales. And 1 shot, 1 kill. So I guess there was more than 1 rule. And they were kind of the same. If you got shot, you couldn't tell your buddies where the enemy was. You just had to be quiet and observe. The battle sets up and it is me, Josh, and my brother against Ben, Brian, and Ryan. Ben and Ryan take a far side over here behind one of the lumber piles. Myself and my brother set up on the other side. I have no idea where Brian went. To this day, I still don't know where he went in the whole battle because he just disappeared like a ninja. Josh started out on the far south side and the battle engages. Boom. I move up to the side of the shack and I decide I'm gonna go perch on top of the mine shaft. We're shooting, we're minor engagements, just boom, you know, small scuffles. My brother, he decides to go out to the south where Josh is. I get up on top of the mine shaft. Turns out that is the crow's nest of the entire battlefield. I am watching everything unfold. I cannot get to Ben because he's too far away, but I can get to Ryan. I'm so far away I can watch the paintballs fly. So I shoot once and it lands close to him and he starts running. And I lead him and I hit him with 2 paintballs and I hear the yelp and the satisfying feeling that comes with that. All of a sudden, a shot fires and I get hit in the hand. We should have changed. We should have added a 3rd rule to the 1 rule. You had to be shot in an extremity that would kill you because I'm out. Wanting to play honorably, I raise my hand. I announce to the whole group, I'm out. And then I lay down and I watch. Josh and Brian are in an engagement behind the brush and I cannot see them. But what I can see is Ben sneaking across the battlefield as my brother is also sneaking across the battlefield. Now what I did not know in this situation was my brother was out of ammunition and was desperately in search of any 1 paintball. So he goes into the shack. Doesn't see Ben sneaking from this other angle. Ben sees him go in the shack and I can't say anything to warn my little bro. As told from my brother's perspective, cold, hungry, and alone, out of ammunition, desperate for anything he can find, he runs into the shack and he goes to the back corner of the shack where there's one paintball alone on the ground. And he grabs that paintball and he takes it and he puts it in his gun, and as he cocks the gun ready to re-engage, he hears a creak in the floor and then poof. But here's what I saw. My brother goes in, Ben goes in, and Ben walks out. He said it was just like a movie. The second that he cocked the gun, Ben fired the shot. The good news is that Josh was patiently waiting for Ben to emerge, and as he did, he drowned him in a sea of paint like the rat he is. We emerged victorious on the day. It was so much fun. Nate and Ryan could not wait to go home, but the rest of us had a blast. It was really fantastic. Merry Christmas, my people. Have a really wonderful time with your family and friends. Stay warm. If you have a pump gun, then upgrade to that semi-auto, and as always, keep telling stories.